It's gonna be a terrible joke, but I feel like all this amazing, talented icons are not the only one who are going to die this year. Fucking exhausted, but still doing it. There's also the year 2016. Let's make this shit great again. Hello, World of the Damned. 2016 is almost over. It was hell of a weird year. Lots of sad shit, crazy shit in general. Yet still some great music releases. People who says that the year 2016 was a bad year for music, we disagree. We don't believe that. Yes, we were disappointed with some albums. Yes, we were expecting something more from other artists. We were expecting some more comebacks. But it doesn't matter anymore. The year is over now, and it's time to present you the results of 2016 musically. First of all, the albums we consider great and very important to mention, but they're not like the best of the best albums. My cap is real weird. There are honorable mentions of the year. Our second list is the best albums list. It's not a top one, there's no like number 1, number 2, number 3. All 25 of them are equally top for us. And last but not least, the best EPs of the year. All 3 are gonna be in the alphabetical order, nothing that special. My light is already dying, hashtag 2016. It's so nice to start this list with such a powerful and already iconic, in a way, female singer as Banks. This year she proved, at least to me, that she's fully able to continue surprising people. With her darker, moodier pop tunes, plus Fuck With Myself is an anthem. Some quality K-pop in the list for you. Big Bang is one of those bands who goes much beyond the K-pop label. With Made album, they combined all of their banging singles released through this year, and they're all a treat. I really dig the production on this thing. Shout out GD, Teddy, and everyone else who worked in it. I like the topic's dareness on the thing. Big Bang kept surprising K-pop and keep shaking things up in K-pop. I'd say Big Bang saved K-pop in 2016, for me at least. This year there was a lot of talks about Christine and the Queens. A lot of talks, I mean a lot of them. The talk is fully deserved. It's a beautiful piece of modern French pop, indie pop, with strong messages, great vocal performances, and lots of love. It's kind of hard to argue with the fact that this album is in a lot of great albums of the year lists of major medias and in our list because of Bowie's death, though again just partly. By itself it's a beautiful, dark, mysterious record that I'm sure has much more secrets that we've already discovered. And I love secrets, and Bowie was and still is an iconic person, and this is a phenomenal farewell chapter in his career. Drake's label OVO Sound's greatest Division came out with this album earlier this year to show what a great modern R&B is like. Album is a killer and my favorite OVO Sound release so far. Yes, this is a soundtrack album, but just as I said in our review for it. By the way, you can watch all the reviews we did for some of those albums I've already mentioned and about to mention. Find all the links in the description down below. Go watch it. This is a great example of a video game soundtrack which works greatly without the video game, just by itself. Pull another Hudson Hawk record for you with more than 15 tracks in it. Hudson Hawk, I can proudly say that he is one of the greatest producers of this year. This is a great piece of pop music. Do you really need more explanations? I like the beats, I like the vibes. I've also included it in my half of the year results. It's great, still great. Didn't expect to like this record that much, but apparently I did. Justice still has it. Plus they tried to experiment. It lacked the level of experimentation I needed, but I'm still going crazy about the beginning of a holidays mix, which you can find in the description down below as well. Check it out, it's really good. Which actually starts with an epic track Randy. It's so good. Kanye is a debatable weirdo of the year, but don't we love them weirdos for that? Don't we love Kanye for that? Pablo album has its low or meh points, but Famous, Real Friends, Fade, Father Stretch My Hands, and Ultralight Beam, and lots of other tracks. Wolves, oh my god, Wolves. The Definition of Winning, Kanye did it again. It's a great album. Great debut record, one of the coolest, one of the chillest band I've discovered in 2016. If you want a sexy, if you want a groovy, if you want a mellow, if you want a fresh faces, check out Leisure by Leisure. A power duo, Lion Babe, with a great album Begin. Officially released past winter, I believe. I love Lion Babe. Their charisma, their grooves, their album though might be a little bit structurally a little bit confusing and more of a singles compilation, but I love it anyway. I had to include it in our honorable mentions list. Radiohead surprised the world with this one last May. A moon-shaped pool is still a mystery for me in a lot of ways. I come back to it to empathize with the lyrics and enjoy the incredible instrumentation. The production on this is a pure bliss. Plus Burn the Witch and Magical Daydreaming tracks are both in our singles of the year list, if we would have done a singles of the year list for a video. But yeah, just so you know, just better for you to know. This is a great tracks. Another great debut album. Roosevelt mixes some great electropop, uses modern disco and all the best from beats and synth. Some of the coolest chill tracks from 2016 and earlier come from this album. I love Santigold and for sure enjoyed this record from her. The thing I enjoyed the most was the collabs and the path Santigold chose for this album. Great record, God bless. Those guys slayed. Jessica Rabbit had the energy, the rage, the voice we all needed in 2016. I applaud Sleigh Bells on this release. All hail Solange, what an incredible record. It's a mood album for sure, as it has a beautiful / sad / nostalgic overflows in its entirely, as it's a little bit hard to put it on repeat for weeks. At least it was for us. I'm sure somebody loved that record to the fullest. But yeah, for us, it's an honorable mention. Boy, do we love Spring King and their debut record. It's feisty, it's loud, it's very drum-filled. They revived the sound I missed so much a couple of past years. Great work. Gotta celebrate these sisters for their hard workiness this year. They not only came out with a great pop music record, they visualized it fully in some great fun music videos. I feel like this was an awesome year for them. Huge comeback, path change, and huge tunes on this one. I really enjoyed it and get really reminiscent, re-listening of everything the Avalanches have ever done. They're great. Perhaps still one of the sexiest records of the year, The Last Shadow Puppets. Alex and Miles give out the best of guitar music and the most banging Bad Habit for you to go nuts during the rest of 2016 and maybe your whole life. Tome's album is a great male vocals pop album and I'm a fan. I like the classic-y vibe it has, I like the British vibe it has. I like Odell's voice. It's a great release. Awesome experimental music release and a truly beautiful electronic music affair I had this year. Not sure if everyone will dig that much, but I definitely recommend to give this album a go. An unexpectedly great comeback album from Two Door Cinema Club. Really enjoyed the record. Don't really know what to say. Watch our review. Everything's there. Yuck saved punk, grunge, and all the dirty, noisy guitar music for me this year. They're surprised and they barely give a fuck. Gotta appreciate them for it. And all hail Alas Salvation. Last in our honorable mentions list, the album I definitely not expected to be in any of our lists. But yeah, here we are. Zayn does better solo. Fuck you. He's great in it. Before You track or whatever its name is. It's a great track. Great music video. Go Zayn. Vote for Zayn. Yes. Now to the actual best albums of the year. 25 great albums that we loved in its entirety and thought that they deserve everything. Anani, Hopelessness, talked about it everywhere. Love that record. Amazing production, vocal performance, experimental instrumentals, and the most interesting lyrical messages I've heard from this year. Death stole our hearts, the summer were some amazing layered tales of New York City tapes with this nostalgic grooves and heartbreaking lyrics. Beautiful work from one of the greatest musicians of our times. Great indie rock debut from Stockport's Blossoms, who really went on blossoming and taking the UK by storm. And not only the UK. All the luck to Blossoms. Who knows? They might be the next big indie rock heroes UK needs so much. 2016 was a great year for Donald Glover. He resurrected his Gambino project and infused it with funk, soul, and psychedelia. Plus, there's some beautiful alternative R&B things on it, and unexpected, great early winter release. Danny fucking killed it. Atrocity Exhibition is a masterpiece. Every track in it deserves a whole another video. The production, the so modern hip-hop beats, instrumentals, the features, the madness, the mental experimentation, the mental discoveries, the mental adventures of Danny on this album. Insane art. One of my new favorite hip-hop records ever made. Death Grips came back this year with albums so varied and so accessible. I believe quite a lot of people got into their stuff after this release. It's an energetic piece of music, much better production wise than before, and yeah, probably Death Grips' best so far, at least for me. We love Flume deeply. His Skin album was in our headphones and is still in our headphones. It's the most perfect 2016 EDM record, with some of the greatest pop hits side, with some experimentation side, some of the Flume's best production yet, and he got rid of this terrible mustache he had. Isn't that fucking amazing? Do we really need to say anything about it being in our best of the best of 2016? We were waiting for this album so long. At one point it felt like it might be terrible, but it isn't. Thanks God. It's a perfect album. There's still lots of things to figure out about it. Like recently they showed us a production list for the album and it's epic. God bless. I can probably admit I became a Glass Animals fan this year due to this. This record is a banger, has some tricky production, some quality catchy choruses, fun lyrics, not so fun lyrics, everything about it is just awesome. Glass Animals, I love you. An unexpected release from none the other than Jaden Smith. It could be it's so bad it's good, but it's not really. It's the chilliest piece of music we've heard from this year, probably, arguably. Jaden is actually big next thing. He's great in it. Can't stop listening to it ever since. The lack of Blake in all the tops of the year lists from all the huge medias is a disappointment. It's an amazing album with some of the Blake's most ambitious and most emotional tracks. Modern Soul, for example, can surely make me cry still. It's so good. Jamie T came back with this and it hit us like a rock. It's a phenomenal album for British indie rock history. It's a phenomenal album for Jamie T. It has some amazing lyrical things on it. The cutest thing in our list, this incredible trio is able to bring the happiness to every house and make sure you feel comfy, loved, and great overall. I never thought I could be that blown away by such a poppy phenomenon, but I am. It's amazing. Darker piece of electronic, and not only, with super moody, mystique and magnifique sounds. I like how the mood and the tones of the record always changes, but keeps the same feel, leaves you equally satisfied. But every other listen, it's good. It's a real good record. Yes, we needed Metronomic's comeback this year, and they totally delivered with this one, Summer '08. It's a dance marathon with some silliness, some sadness, and constant groove. Amazing debut record with real great amount of indie rock anthems, which I for sure will dearly love for a long time. I've heard some people say that Palace are the next Foals or the Maccabees. I'm not sure about that, but I definitely love to see them become big and popular, headlining the festivals, touring the world, and experimenting with their already amazing style of music. Personally, one of my most favorite records from this year. It feels effortlessly divine, danceable at the right parts, and overall just a great record. I'm excited to hear Porch's next third release, to hear him grow even more musically. It's so good. Just came out, already in our best albums list. Run the Jewels can do stuff like that. Review on this album actually coming up just after New Year's Eve, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, you can already figure out the summed up version of this review because it is in our best albums of the year list. Indie rockers from LA, Saint released this, their second album, which showed how much they actually matured, perfected their sound making, and brought American indie rock to the right base. Probably the indiest release of all the indie releases, or not so indie releases on our list. An awesome work, darker mobby reminiscent tunes. It's a moody, soft record which I really love to be philosophical listening to. Yeah, great stuff. You'd recommend that. It's now best albums of the year. You gotta remember that. Great hip-hop record from a great hip-hop duo, awesome production, careless not lyrics, it's a political record after all, coolest beats of the year, really enjoyed it. Listen to that. Who knew back in the day that I would put the 1975's album in my best albums of the year list, but yet here we are. This is a great pop music record. One of the highlights for music of 2016. Awesome. Great job. The people of the internet thought we hated this by not watching our reaction well, probably. But yeah, we actually loved this record. Some of the production here is amazing. Weeknd himself delivers great vocals. Cashmere Cat is on it. Daft Punk is on it. Lana Del Rey is on it. Kendrick is on it. Yeah, what else do you need actually? What else do you need? Wizard came back with this record which modernized their old sound, their best sound. The White Album is arguably their redemption album. There's some great, amazing, catchy hooks on that thing. An energetic, fast overflow, good stuff. And finally, this! I'm kind of a fan of everything this band does, and here they bring up some great experimental pop with sometimes psychotic vibe which makes you really fall in love with everything they do. Also, the music videos, holy shit, they're great. By the end of this long video, some EPs from the year we could not mention. Some of them were even better than some other long plays from our favorite artists. Another great comeback this year. I'm waiting for something much longer and even more great. But yeah, it was really good. Yes to this, one of my most favorite indie rock bands from 2016. They're a great new band. I'm dying to hear their LP, as everything so far from them were amazing. Amazing EP. Bonsai is an experimental goddess. I expect some really huge instrumentals from her after hearing this. God bless Sophie, the love of our lives, producer god, produced all of it. Charlie brought her charisma in it. Together, they matched perfectly and created this. It's probably our most played EP from this year, arguably most played record of the year. I pray to all the gods that Charlie will put out more stuff like this in her next album, which comes out in May. Blue, once again, the companion EP to Skin, goes even a little bit more experimental than the actual album, which is great. I love how Harley can do pretty much anything he wants now, and yeah, we are super excited for more companions to come. Unexpected huge comeback which got everyone blown away in like a second. Flawless production, surprising trick elements here and there. Not sure if it's something that you should start to fall in love with 9-inch nails, but it's totally something you should be excited about because from them, and it will be kind of great, I think. The reworked tracks from Pool, which sound sometimes even a little bit better than on the album, at least more interesting than on the album. Porches, amazing. EP, love that. More female indie pop, great singer. I like her vibe, her charisma, her collab choices, and her flow. On that EP, there's some huge hits, which I just couldn't stop listening through the year, waiting on that debut record. Holy shit, Vince Staples is a talented guy. Great EP release, Prima Donna. Great hip hop release with some Staples' unique style of rapping, I think. More K-pop on the list. Those guys, also from the same label as Big Bang, but they're younger, and one of the guys just loved the band, but I don't think it's going to change anything that much. It's K-pop, it's not a big deal. It's a big deal, but not that much. But yeah, this is a great EP from the beginning of 2016. I love it, it's good. Listen to that. Besides all of that, it's important to mention GFOTY's Call Him a Doctor great PC music release, our favorite PC music release from this year. PC music for the win. And the Kitsune Maison compilation. After doing the video, I realized I'm saying Kitsune wrong. Sorry about that. All of that revived the famous label and brought so many amazing tunes to the light, to the people. It's awesome. It's an awesome compilation album. And that is it. We are in the darkness. The 2016 is slowly going away. And yeah, that was the music of 2016. What do you think about choices? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you feel like there should be some other artists that we didn't mention? Why they should be here? Why some others shouldn't be? Let us know all your thoughts in the comments. Let us know your albums of the year in the comments. Do it. We want to talk with you. We are super excited for 2017 and its releases yet to come. Super excited for the XX, Gorillaz, Sophie, Charlie XCX, some debut records from my new favorite bands. So many great things to come. Yay for the holidays and yay for all the great music of this year and of the upcoming year. We love you. Happy New Year and peace off.